Hi. Welcome to Inference. This is the place where you learn and improve. In this video, I will be talking about books. Picture this, you're sitting in a cozy armchair, with a cup of hot cocoa and a book in your hand. The fire is crackling, the rain is pouring outside, and you're lost in the world of words. Sounds like the perfect way to spend a lazy afternoon, doesn't it? But books are not just a source of entertainment or a way to pass the time. They can do so much more for us. Reading books can be a life-changing experience. It can broaden our horizons, help us empathize with others, and even improve our vocabulary. That's right, all those SAT words can finally come in handy. But don't just take my word for it, studies have shown that reading can have a multitude of benefits for our physical and mental well-being. So, if you're not already a bookworm, it's time to dust off that library card and start reading. Now, I know what you're thinking, but books are so boring. They're just a bunch of words on paper. Well, my friend, you couldn't be more wrong. Books are like portals to different worlds, they can take us to far-off lands, introduce us to fascinating characters, and even make us laugh out loud, or cry our eyes out, if that's your thing. And if you think books are just for intellectuals or nerds, think again. From romance novels to sci-fi thrillers, there's a genre for everyone. But don't just take my word for it, let me give you some examples of how books have enriched my life. For one, I used to be terrible at small talk. But after reading a few self-help books, I learned how to ask better questions and hold more engaging conversations. And don't even get me started on how much my vocabulary has improved. I can finally impress my friends with my obscure word choices, although they might think I'm a bit pretentious. Hey, can't win them all. So, in short, books are not just a pastime, they're a way of life. They can make us smarter, funnier, and more empathetic. And if that's not reason enough to start reading, then I don't know what is. So, go ahead, grab a book, and lose yourself in the magic of words. You never know where they might take you, hopefully not down a rabbit hole, unless that's your thing. Let's start with the most obvious benefit of reading. It can expand our knowledge and stimulate our minds. Reading books is like going on a journey. We get to explore new ideas, learn about different cultures, and discover fascinating facts. And the best part is, we get to do it all from the comfort of our own homes, or the local library, if that's more your style. For example, have you ever wanted to learn more about ancient history, but didn't know where to start? Well, there's a book for that. Want to brush up on your cooking skills? There's a book for that too. Want to know more about the psychology of human behavior? Yup, you guessed it, there's a book for that. The possibilities are endless. But reading doesn't just give us new information, it can also make us more creative and imaginative. When we read, we have to use our brains to create mental images of the world the author has created. It's like a workout for our minds. The more we do it, the stronger our imaginations become. Now, let's talk about one of the most underrated benefits of reading. It can provide escapism and relaxation. Life can be stressful, we all know that. But sometimes, all we need is a little break from reality. And what better way to do that than by diving into a good book? When we read, we get to forget about our problems for a little while. We get to immerse ourselves in a different world and forget about our troubles for a little while. And the best part? We can do it all without leaving our houses, or beds, for that matter. And there's a book for every mood. Feeling sad? Pick up a romance novel. Feeling scared? Try a horror story. Feeling stressed? Go for a self-help book. The options are endless. Another great benefit of reading is that it can help us develop empathy and understanding of others. When we read about characters who are different from us, we get to see the world through their eyes. We get to understand their struggles, their hopes, and their dreams. And in doing so, we become more empathetic toward people in real life. For example, have you ever read a book about a character from a different culture and realized how much you didn't know about that culture before? Or read a book about someone with a different background and realized how much you had in common with them? Reading can help us break down barriers and see the world differently. Remember when I mentioned how reading can improve our vocabulary? Well, it's not just a myth. When we read, we come across new words and phrases that we might not have encountered otherwise. And the more we read, the more familiar these words become. Plus, reading can also help us improve our grammar and language skills. We get to see how authors use language to convey their ideas, and we can use those same techniques in our writing or speaking if we're feeling fancy. Last but not least, reading can also provide us with inspiration and motivation. When we read about characters who overcome obstacles and achieve their goals, it can give us the push we need to do the same. And when we read about real-life people who have accomplished amazing things, it can inspire us to chase our dreams. For example, have you ever read a book that made you feel like you could conquer the world? Or a biography of someone who overcame adversity to achieve greatness? Reading can help us see what's possible and give us the motivation to go after our own goals. So, there you have it, just a few of the many ways that reading can enrich our lives. And the best part is, it doesn't matter what genre or format you prefer, whether it's fiction, non-fiction, ebooks, or audiobooks, there's something out there for everyone. Let's face it, life can be stressful. Between work, relationships, and just trying to keep up with the news, it can feel like we're always on the go. But sometimes, all we need is a little break from reality. And that's where reading comes in. When we read, we get to escape into a different world. We get to leave our problems behind for a little while and immerse ourselves in someone else's story. And the best part is, we can do it all without leaving our homes, or even our beds. Let's face it, we spend a lot of time staring at screens these days. Whether it's our phones, our laptops, or our TVs, we're constantly bombarded with information. But when we pick up a book, we get to take a break from all of that. We get to rest our eyes and our brains and focus on something that doesn't require a power source. In addition to giving our eyes a break, reading can also help us unplug from the world. When we read, we're not constantly checking our phones or scrolling through social media. We're just in the moment, enjoying the story. Reading is also a great way to unwind at the end of a long day. Instead of staring at the ceiling or scrolling through Instagram, we can curl up with a good book and let our minds relax. And because we're not looking at a screen, our brains aren't getting stimulated in the same way they would be if we were watching TV or playing a video game. Studies have shown that reading can reduce stress. When we get lost in a good book, our heart rate and blood pressure can decrease, and we can feel a sense of calm wash over us. It's like a mini vacation for our minds. And because reading can help us relax, it can also improve our sleep. Instead of scrolling through our phones before bed, which can make it harder to fall asleep, we can read a few pages of a book and drift off to dreamland. Plus, if you're anything like me, reading in bed can be a great way to lull yourself to sleep. Just try not to drop the book on your face. So, the next time someone asks you why you spend so much time with your nose in a book, just tell them that you're enriching your mind, relaxing your soul, and expanding your empathy. And if that doesn't convince them, well, you can always just quote Belle from Beauty and the Beast. I want adventure in the great white somewhere. I want it more than I can tell. And for once it might be grand to have someone understand. I want so much more than they've got planned. In conclusion, reading is not just a pastime, it's an enriching and fulfilling experience that can enhance every aspect of our lives. From expanding our knowledge and empathy to providing a sense of escapism and relaxation, reading has so much to offer. And with so many different genres and formats to choose from, there is something for everyone. So, if you haven't picked up a book in a while, maybe it's time to give it a try. You never know, you might just discover a whole new world of possibilities. And who knows, maybe someday you'll be the one inspiring others with your own story of triumph over adversity. But for now, let's just sit back, relax, and enjoy the magic of a good book. Alright, folks, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new about books. If you did enjoy it, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Goodbye.